my name is Dianne Blick. I'm with Keller Williams Hometown Partners, BlickHomes, right here in Hutchinson. And I am so excited to invite you in to my hyperlocal series, where I absolutely enjoy featuring businesswomen who are making a difference, who are going out and working every day, making our own way through the world, and just doing what's good. And it's really a pleasure today to invite Lucinda Piligian to join me. I really appreciate your gift of time. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we had a little bit of a visit the other day when I was down at the Crystal Ballroom, which is just stunning.
Thank you.
So stunning. But I'm really honored to be able to visit with you about investing in Hutchinson and what a great place Hutchinson is. I was gone for I was in Chicago for 30 years. I was gone for 40 years and came home. This is home. I've been back for 16 years and I love it. And I know you too. This was originally your home, and then you moved.
Yes.
And you moved far away.
Yes, I was born and raised in Hutchinson, and in 1980 I moved out to California to pursue professional dance career and got into a little bit of acting. And I still live out there, but my family, has always been here, and so obviously I've had many trips home over all these years. And then in 2008, I bought a home on Main Street so that I could come more often. My kids were grown and gone by then, spend a little more time and reconnect with my family and be here more.
Well, your home on Main Street is just absolutely beautiful, and I love the outside landscaping. The brickwork I see people working all the time. You work really hard to maintain that home. What year was it built?
I believe it was 1922. I think most of the homes on that block in that area in Hyde Park were built in 1922.
Yeah, I would have guessed 1920 to 2022, 23.
Yeah.
I restored a Chicago bungalow while I lived there and lived in it.
Oh.
And so
while you were restoring?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually added a whole third story, a whole story. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And a fun time. And studying the architecture and understanding how to make it everything as it was, having things milled and repaired and finding craftsmen that know how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I really had not had any experience in restoring a historic home. And I had done a few remodels in California, but they were minor. And it was interesting because we had to work with the Historic Preservation Society, and there's the do's and the don'ts, and we had to get permission for a few things that we wanted to do. But just for instance, the front porch was in very bad shape. And in order to replace it, we did have to find somebody that could mill the wood exactly the way it was done. And so the structure underneath is a lot sturdier. But they're pretty strict about that. But that's what keeps the essence of the home. And
the community.
And the community, yeah. So I actually appreciate that. It was quite an experience. I had no idea what I was getting into. A 1.5 year long project, and my sister Kathy Burrell helped me with that. But it was really very rewarding, and it's a beautiful home.
Well, it truly is. And so that project didn't do you in, because then you decided to do another project. What was your next one? Which one was that?
Well, actually, when I finished that home, I just, I'm very sentimental, and I love Hutchinson. And I have always had this fantasy of, people still being able to raise kids the way I was able to be raised here. And I know it's, not the same. It never will be exactly the same. But I really wanted to do something to give back to the community. I wanted to give Hutchinson a gift. And I came up with the idea of building the Shane's Inspiration Playground. So that was kind of my first project. I worked with Mike Lewick, who was at the city in the Parks and Recreation Department back then. It was a wonderful experience, and the gift that I was given in doing that is it connected me not only with my family, but with the community. And having been gone for so long, you know, there's a real disconnect, you know, when you're not here and you're not involved and you don't know who anybody is. So it was really a wonderful experience going through that. And then my husband was like, you had to come up with a little company, you know, just a reason to come back. And, you know, so we started Flying Dog Properties, which is a property rental company. And we bought several homes that were up for auction and fixed them up and, you know, just started there. So
as so you're an investor in your hometown.
Yes.
When we come back to our hometown and we decide to, you know, we're gonna plant our feet here, we're gonna stay. How did you assess an ROI or the viability of investing in Hutchinson? What gave you the peace of mind that it was a good, sound financial investment?
I didn't even look at it that way. For me, I loved renovating the Main Street home. And I wanted to, when we bought these first rental homes, when I saw the rental market, I was a little bit shocked. And my goal purely was to make safe, clean rentals for people. This was right after the economy crash. And there were a lot of people that lost their homes. And I really wanted to make just a respectable place for people to live. We always fix the roof if it needs fixed. We update plumbing and electrical and, you know, paint, put in fresh flooring, whatever we needed to do. And I'm proud to say that we've had several of our renters throughout the years that have been able to save money and buy their own home.
That is so exciting.
And we have very long-term people in our homes because we do take such good care of them. And, you know, of course, we've grown a lot from that. I mean, we still have those same homes that we maintain and upkeep. A few of them we've turned into Airbnbs, which have done very, very well.
Yeah, so Airbnbs, I've heard people say that, can you make an Airbnb go here? And yes, there is a need. There's a huge need. We have a huge need for housing.
Yes,
we do. And for good rental housing, we have a huge need. And I always really appreciate working with investors who do those repairs that are sustainable and proper for the long term, and not just to meet a current code to like get by that code or to find a way maybe around the code. It's so important to do that because we're talking about human life and quality of life for the individuals that are renting those properties. And people may choose to rent, not just because they can't afford to buy. They may choose to rent because of a life circumstance, a traveling job, a transitional job, or a life transition.
All of the above. And we kind of fell into the Airbnb market because we had a family member who, you know, we had fixed up this little teeny tiny house and furnished it, did everything, and then they decided that they weren't going to move in there, and we're like, well, now what do we do? And so we thought, well, let's just try to do the Airbnb. We didn't know how it was going to work out. We have a lot of people that are coming in from Kansas City or from other states that are coming here for work that need a place to stay for maybe 1 week every month or a few weeks at a time. We had a father and son that came in and stayed for a month. They were working in McPherson. So we had, because of the lockdown, we had a couple from California that their parents are here. And so they came and stayed for 3 months, and the grandparents babysat the kids and they worked from home here in Hutchinson. So it's actually been very rewarding to do that. And we have a lot of repeat customers in our Airbnbs.
I can imagine. Yeah. I know. When I first moved back, I needed a rental, and I worked from home, and I had 2 dogs, and I wasn't able to find anything. So it's very exciting when we're adding high quality rental properties to Hutchinson at reasonable rates. I mean, they don't have to be unreasonable rates to keep them full with good long tenants.
Yep.
So I'm guessing, I'm going out on a limb here to ask you this question, I guess, but I'm guessing that you're finding that there is a good return on your investment. It's both probably in your heart and financial, maybe more in your heart still, and you're still waiting for the years to work that out?
I think it's still in my heart because I get into these big projects. I mean, if it were just the small rentals, yes, we would be doing just fine. But, you know, we ended up, my husband and I bought the building at the Burt Building downtown, thinking that was going to be a future folk art museum. We have a very large folk art collection. And then, of course, once I found out that it was the Crystal Ballroom, I'm like, oh, we ought to have parties here and bring back, you know, because I was a dancer, obviously, you know. And anyway, so that was quite a large investment. In my lifetime, I'll never see anything back from that. Well. And then we bought Yagi at the same time because, you know, we wanted to buy some property. And that was such a unique opportunity. And it really was all... again, it was like sentimental reasons. This family had been on that property for 5 generations, and their goal, the great-great-grandchildren, however many generations down, really wanted it to go all together. And so they auctioned it in parcels, and then at the end, if there was anybody who wanted the whole thing, and I just sat there like, I only want it if I get the whole thing, you know. Which of course I did, and we've restored both of those homes, and they are now on Airbnb and doing very well. So,
well, the Crystal Ballroom aside, that's amazing and a huge commercial investment. That's very different and very unique. So it's a couple different categories, I think, of investments.
They're totally different categories, but the bottom line is. Where I come from in everything that I do is I want to better people's lives in whatever way I can. And to be able to offer, every time I go down to that building, it still takes my breath away. I'm like, I just can't believe how beautiful it is. And I can't take full credit for any of it. My sister helped me, all the crew, the people that worked on the construction all that time. I had my lighting guy out in LA that was like, you got to do the Maria Teresa chandeliers. I would never have thought to do that. You know, every time when I would travel, I would look at these old hotels, and I'm constantly picking up ideas. And, you know, it just all came together. And it's just, I love that people get to have a really wonderful experience.
Well, my goodness, Lucinda, I really appreciate that you've taken time to visit. Is there anything you want to share that I haven't asked you about?
Well, no, not necessarily. But, you know, a lot of people ask me, like, what's my next project? And I never quite know what it is. I know when I get these ideas or some opportunity comes along, I sort of go along the field of dreams, you know, if you build it, they will come. And so just watch out. You never know what I might come up with next.
Well, I know it will be exciting and it will be well done. And just, you know, from somebody who came back home, thanks for coming back home and being part of the community and helping to support all the good that we have here.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us. This is my hyperlocal series from Dianne Blick with Keller Williams Hometown Partners, BlickHomes. We're excited to bring in guests to talk about great things that are going on. And if there's someone that you know that I should be interviewing that I might not know about, I'd love a tip. Thanks. Have a great day.